Hi everybody, this is John again with a final reveal video. This time it was one of my early inbox reviews. This is the Revell 1/72 scale Neiuport N28C1. If you remember me telling you that the main reason I wanted to build this kit is because it was Eddie Rickenbacker's mount, the plane he scored 26 victories in during World War One. The kit itself, if you've seen the build progress video, I was quite impressed with the way this kit came out. I must admit, I was not expecting, because of the quality of kits that I end up with when I've finished them, I was not expecting this kit to look quite as good as this. I must admit my eyesight is not as good as it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but I did think that I didn't do that bad a job on this kit, and I'm not trying to blow my own trumpet, but it's probably not as good as, say, a lot of the more professional modelers with their YouTube channels would make of it, but I was quite pleased with the way this kit came out. And there's one thing also that I need to put a shout out to Al Wood, one of my subscribers, because he probably doesn't realise it, but Al was the main reason why I decided to attempt my first rigged biplane model. This is the first model I've ever rigged. I've never rigged a kit before, never had the confidence to be able to even attempt rigging a kit, but I did rig this kit, and I must admit it hasn't come out that bad. It's probably not up to your standards, Al, but you know, first attempt, yeah, I'm quite happy with it. It was all right. I just basically want to go over quickly the kit itself. It's a Revell kit. It's an old kit. The kit is well over 45 years old. The mouldings weren't brilliant, but they weren't bad when you consider the kit was, is of this age. The decals were fantastic, although I did have an issue with the large number 12, which you can just make out. There's a little bit of silvering underneath that decal with the dark green underneath, and I don't understand why, because I did use decal fix, and none of the other decals have issues with silvering. Even the roundels, they've conformed lovely to the mouldings on the fuselage and the wings there. I was very pleased with the way that came out, and also the underwing, if you can see them there, that's better. The way they came out as well, they came out really nicely. But the thing I want to bring to your attention is how sweet this kit looks. I was really impressed with the way this kit turned out. The camo on it, yeah, it is quite complicated. It's 5 different colours, but the camo on it, it just makes the kit look really colourful. And I do remember in the inbox review me saying that this kit would, I'm sure, turn out to be quite a colourful collection if you like biplanes. I did paint the tail fin flash, which you can see there. I painted the tail fin flash. It was basically gloss post office red, gloss midnight blue, and gloss white, because I didn't want to use the tail fin decal and end up with that god-awful nightmare around the edge of the tail fin. And I've started doing this with a lot of biplanes now, and I think you get a much better result. And certainly, I think, yeah, it's not easy getting the straight lines freehand, but I'm sure a lot of other modelers would probably have some method of coming up with a straight line. Yeah. Anyway, the kit's turned out quite reasonable, and I just want to bring your attention to the rigging on this kit, because I'm not sure, if you haven't seen the build progress video, you won't have seen the method I used to apply the rigging on this kit. But basically, the rigging isn't as taut and as square as I'd have liked it to have been, but it's not bad. But Al's probably worked out why. It's a different method to the way you do, Al. I have actually rigged in this kit the struts instead of the wings. And I've done that because I wanted to have an easier affair of it without going through the rigmarole of drilling all the parts and everything. And I don't think it's that bad an effort. And I must admit, I've seen a few photographs of real biplanes and the way they're trussed and rigged up, and a lot of them, apart from the interplane struts where the cables tend to go through the actual wing fabric, and then obviously they're attached to the mount point on the strut itself where it goes into the structure of the wing. That's where they're actually joined and braced to. But I don't think it was a bad effort. I wasn't, I must admit, I was quite impressed with the way that came out. There is supposed to be 2 more pieces of rigging on the rear interplane struts for the tail empennage there, but I haven't got the manual dexterity in my hands and the eyesight to be able to produce that section of rigging. There's supposed to be 2 pieces of rigging brace, one that goes to the fuselage just forward of the tail fin, the tail plane rather, and the other one goes on the top of the tail plane, and it braces the tail plane to the fin forward of the rudder there. And I just could not. I couldn't see a way of actually rigging it and doing it without drilling the fin, which I didn't really want to do. So I ended up not doing that part of the rigging. So Al, you'll have to smack my hand. But basically, that's the final reveal. I was quite impressed with the way this came out, I must admit, and yeah. Incidentally, the weathering on the forward cowling there was dry brushed. It's done with a little bit of light tan brown mixed with a little bit of the oily based paint in gloss paint, and then you run your brush over a rag until it's reasonably dry, and then you just apply the paint away from the aperture of the engine cowling and over the edge, and the result was a sort of an oily, swirly, grimy dirt effect on the cowling. The cowling again. That's an effect that I was quite pleased with, and it came out quite nice. Also, the decal fix has actually worked very well with all of the other decals on this kit. Again, that's something I was quite pleased with. So that's the final reveal video on this particular model. I hope the outcome has been to your satisfaction. If you do like what you've seen, don't forget to give me a like, it's much appreciated, and subscribe if you haven't also done so. There's lots more other videos. My inbox reviews, they are a bit in depth, but I do like to go through a lot of the research that I do on my inbox reviews, and I also like to put up the boxing history, because sometimes it's quite interesting and it takes you back to your childhood in some cases, when Airfix and Revell were in their heyday. And yeah, so if you like that aspect of things, check out my other videos. Don't forget to subscribe and like, it's very much appreciated. And once again, another last shout out, Al. Thanks very much for your encouragement, even though you might not have realised it. Yeah, thanks very much, mate. Speak to you again, guys. Bye-bye for now.